JuJu Watkins introduces herself to the world during historic freshman season at USC. JuJu Watkins and the University of Southern California women's basketball team started their 2023-24 season with a bang, upsetting Ohio State on the road. This was just the beginning of what would be a memorable and historic campaign. Episode 6 of On the Rise, JuJu Watkins, a new NBC sports documentary series presented by State Farm, recaps Watkins' impressive freshman season at USC, including an intense November practice, a victorious home opener, a huge Selection Sunday party, and a special March Madness run. After beating Ohio State, USC returned home to prepare for their home opener against Florida Gulf Coast, a team that finished 33-4 and won an NCAA tournament game the season prior. Coming off the Ohio State win, coming back home for our home opener against Florida Gulf Coast, we have to get back to business, head coach Lindsay Gottlieb said. We have to focus on the basics. We have to keep getting better. They did just that at practice, working on their footwork, their set offenses, and their transition plays, while the coaching staff attempted to ground an excited group. We as coaches, you're always thinking about the next thing to stress out about, Gottlieb said. Certainly, coming off a big win, we are going to be concerned if we are too high or too overhyped for our first home game. Emotions were high on the court. After turning the ball over 3 plays in a row, practice was stopped and players had to run sprints. Handle your emotions and play basketball. Go, Associate Coach Beth Burns shouted at her team. The energy at practice was just an appetizer for the game ahead. Watkins, a Los Angeles native, was ready for her first college basketball game at home. I don't even know what to expect, but I just know that I am going to feel that feeling of being home, that feeling of why I'm here and why I committed, Watkins said. With Vanessa Bryant, Candace Parker, and thousands of fans in attendance, USC hosted a pre-game celebration to honor the 40th anniversary of USC's first women's basketball championship. Cheryl Miller, the most outstanding player of the 1983 NCAA tournament, got a huge ovation when introduced. It means everything, Watkins said. That is why I am here, honestly. That is why we are all here, to really solidify ourselves and make a name for ourselves with this program. JuJu Watkins talks choosing USC, LeBron commercial, family, and more in documentary debut. Episode 1 of On the Rise, JuJu Watkins, premieres today at 3 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC. Mary Omadiga. Mary Omadiga. Once the festivities concluded, USC and Florida Gulf Coast tipped off, and the home team struggled out of the gate. The Eagles started the game on a 9-0 run, using their lack of size to their advantage. I am telling you, it is super hard to guard small people because they just run everywhere, Watkins said. But Watkins started to heat up, leading the Trojans on a 14-2 run to help them take the lead for good. The freshman finished with 18 points and 7 rebounds in the 67-51 victory. I have always dreamed of, ever since I committed, what the first game would be like at home, Watkins said. For it to be my first year of college basketball and little girls specifically are wearing my jerseys, it is just really all I could ask for. This was the first of many wins for Watkins and the Trojans. Her regular season included a USC record 51-point outing in a road upset over Stanford and a 42-point performance in a home win over Colorado. Watkins and the Trojans hit a crescendo when they again upset Pac-12 regular season champion Stanford in the conference tournament final to win their first conference title since 2014. How family and community lift JuJu Watkins on and off the basketball court. Episode 2 of On the Rise, JuJu Watkins premieres today at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time on NBC. Emily Iannaccone. Emily Iannaccone. Watkins' magical campaign put USC in a great position on Selection Sunday. Not only was her team poised to earn back-to-back NCAA tournament appearances for the first time since 2006, but they would likely earn a number 1 seed for the first time since 1986, when Miller led the Trojans to the national championship game as a senior. USC celebrated the occasion by hosting a giant Selection Sunday party at the Founders Room in Galen Center. Students, players, coaches, family members, and fans attended. I didn't expect so many people to be there. A lot of family, a lot of fans, Watkins said. Gottlieb addressed the large crowd, saying she was happy for her players but nervous about making the USC community proud. It is just mind-blowing when you think about where the season started or what the last couple of years here have been like, and where we have come, Gottlieb said. Eventually, the moment when Watkins and USC found out their future finally arrived. USC was a #1 seed, and the crowd went crazy. It was just great, but I think for me, I was just locked in. I didn't care who we played, Watkins said. As long as we made it, and we made it, for sure. JuJu Watkins, Candace Parker. JuJu Watkins, Candace Parker. For JuJu Watkins, when one door closes, another one opens. Episode 3 of On the Rise, JuJu Watkins, is now available on Peacock. Nathan Ackerman. Nathan Ackerman. They didn't just make it. The Trojans earned the right to kick off March Madness in front of their fans at Galen Center. Number 16 seed Texas A&M Corpus Christi was coming to town. Watkins recorded 23 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists in the 87-55 win, setting up a second-round matchup with Kansas in Los Angeles. We came out and we handled business, and JuJu, as she's become accustomed to, shoulders a big burden, shoulders a lot of weight, makes it look easy, Gottlieb said. She and her teammates helped us get through that first round. The freshman scored USC's first 7 points of the second round, finishing with 28 points, 11 rebounds, and 5 assists to lead the Trojans to a 73-55 victory over the Jayhawks. Watkins was heading to the Sweet 16. Kansas was a bit of a dogfight. We were in control most of the game. But they're a Big 12 school, and we knew they weren't going to go away, Gottlieb said. It was an incredible feeling in here. It was truly our last game in Galen. On the Rise, JuJu Watkins EP4. On the Rise, JuJu Watkins EP4. The JuJu Effect, JuJu Watkins begins to build new legacy at USC. Episode 4 of On the Rise, JuJu Watkins, the new documentary series presented by State Farm, delves into the beginning of Watkins' freshman year at USC. Sid Pierre. A duel with number 5 Baylor was up next, and Watkins stepped up to the challenge. Her 30 points helped USC pull away late, securing a 74-70 victory and spot in the Elite 8 for the first time in 30 years. But all good things must come to an end. Paige Buchers and UConn were waiting for USC in Elite 8, and they sent the Trojans home with an 80-73 defeat. Watkins scored 29 points in the loss to secure the record for the most points by a freshman in NCAA Division I history. It hurts. It's just heartbreaking, Gottlieb said. That type of loss is going to sting and hurt for a very long time until you get the opportunity to get to a place like that again. JuJu_SU_them, JPG. JuJu_SU_them, JPG. Squarely in the spotlight, JuJu Watkins announces college arrival in On the Rise. JuJu Watkins Episode 5. Episode 5 of the 6-part docuseries is now available on Peacock. Nathan Ackerman.